In the dim, echoing halls of Willowbrook Animal Shelter, where the air hummed with the soft whimpers of forgotten souls, a decision was made that would ripple through lives like a stone skipped across still water. 8-year-old Sophia, her small frame settled into a wheelchair that had become her constant companion since a tragic car accident 2 years prior, had made up her mind. She wanted to meet every animal there, no exceptions. The staff, a dedicated team of women led by the compassionate manager, Elena, exchanged uneasy glances. "Sweetheart," Elena said gently, kneeling to Sophia's level, "some of our residents are particular. Let's start with the friendlier ones." Sophia, with her wide hazel eyes framed by loose curls held back by a simple blue ribbon, shook her head firmly. Her Aunt Clara, who had been her rock through endless therapies and quiet nights of doubt, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "She's sure, Elena. We'll take it slow." The shelter was a haven for strays and surrenders, but one resident stood apart, Luna, a tabby cat who had haunted the back enclosure for over a year. No one approached her without a plan, or a thick pair of gloves. Luna wasn't always this way. Rescued from a storm-drenched alley on the outskirts of town, she had arrived emaciated, her once glossy gray fur matted with mud and her green eyes wild with terror. A frayed collar, embedded with burrs, suggested a life of neglect, perhaps abandonment by an owner who couldn't cope. From the moment she was carried in, hissing and clawing at the carrier, Luna had claimed her space. Her enclosure, at the far end of the cat wing, was a fortress of high shelves and shadowed corners. Volunteers like young intern Mia, barely out of college, whispered about her during breaks. "She's got walls higher than the ones around this place," Mia would say, her voice laced with pity. "I don't think she'll ever come down." Mornings at the shelter began with routine, feeding, cleaning, and the cautious slide of bowls under doors. For Luna, it was a ritual of tension. She'd perch on her highest shelf, tail flicking like a metronome of distrust, her claws tapping rhythmically against the wood. Treats, tuna flakes, feather toys, went untouched, pushed aside with a disdainful paw. "Poor thing's been through hell," veteran volunteer Sarah would murmur, her lined face softening as she peered through the bars. "But some hurts run too deep. She might never trust again." Nights were worse. Luna's plaintive yowls pierced the quiet, a symphony of loneliness that kept even the night shift nurses awake, wondering about the humans who had shattered her. Adoptions happened daily for the playful kittens and affectionate lap cats, but Luna's sign remained unchanged: available, but proceed with caution. Not suitable for families with children. Families came and went, drawn to the front cages where cats purred and rubbed against fingers. Sophia's visit was different. Clara wheeled her through the main area first, where a fluffy calico named Whiskers batted at Sophia's shoelaces, eliciting a giggle that lit up the girl's face. A sleek Siamese weaved between the chair's wheels, purring like a tiny engine. "They're wonderful," Sophia said, her voice soft but bright. Yet her gaze kept drifting to the dim corridor ahead, where the air felt heavier, charged with unspoken warnings. Elena led the way, her steps measured. "We have some real sweethearts back here," she began, but as they neared Luna's enclosure, her tone shifted. "Actually, darling, this one's had a rough go. She's not ready for visitors." A low hiss emanated from the shadows, sharp as a warning bell. Sophia tilted her head, listening not just to the sound but to the tremor beneath it, the echo of fear masquerading as fury. Clara's grip tightened on the handles. "Sophia, I want to meet her," Sophia interrupted, her voice steady, eyes locked on the wire mesh. The determination in her small frame silenced the room. Elena hesitated, then nodded to Mia, who unlocked the outer gate. Clara wheeled Sophia forward until the chair was inches from the bars, the scent of pine litter and faint catnip mingling in the air. Luna's form materialized, arched back, ears flat, those piercing green eyes narrowed on the intruder, the rolling wheels that must have seemed like an approaching threat. "Shoo, it's okay," Sophia whispered, her words a gentle bridge across the divide. Was she soothing the cat or steadying her own racing heart? Clara's breath caught, memories of hospital rooms and Sophia's tear-streaked face after the accident flooded back. The girl had withdrawn then, her laughter stolen, her world shrunk to the confines of her chair. "Sophia, honey, we can go," Clara urged, but Sophia held up a hand. "She's scared, Aunt Clara." "Like I was." The words hung in the air, raw and honest. Elena and the volunteers, Sarah, Mia, and a few others who had gathered, froze, their own eyes misting. Sophia leaned closer, her voice a soft melody. "Hi, Luna. I'm Sophia. I know this place feels scary. All these new smells, new people. I get it. After my accident, everything changed. I couldn't run or climb trees anymore. I felt trapped, like no one would ever see me the same." Inside the enclosure, Luna's tail slowed its lash. Her ears twitched forward, then back, the hiss dissolving into a hesitant chirp. For the first time in months, she descended a shelf rung, her paws silent on the carpeted floor. The staff exchanged wide-eyed glances. No one had seen her move like this, not for treats, not for coaxing. Sophia continued, her voice weaving a tapestry of shared vulnerability. "But you know what? Someone believed in me. My aunt, my doctors, they sat with me, even when I pushed them away. You're not alone here, Luna. We can be scared together." Emboldened, Sophia extended her hand through the bars, palm up, fingers trembling slightly. Clara's heart pounded like a drum in her chest, ready to pull her back at the first sign of claws. Luna paused, her green eyes flicking from the hand to Sophia's face, reading the openness there. The cat's body uncoiled fractionally, whiskers quivering. Then, in a moment that suspended time, she stepped forward. Her cool nose brushed Sophia's fingertips, a tentative exploration. Sophia's breath hitched, a tear tracing down her cheek. "See? It's not so bad." Slowly, Luna pressed her head into the offered hand, the rough texture of her fur yielding to Sophia's gentle stroke. A low rumble started in the cat's throat, not a growl, but a purr, faint at first, then building like a summer storm giving way to calm. The volunteers gasped, Sarah covered her mouth, tears spilling freely. "I've never, oh, God," Mia whispered, her phone forgotten in her pocket. Elena wiped her eyes, a smile breaking through. "This is a miracle," relaxing as if a weight had lifted. For the first time, she allowed full contact, curling her tail around Sophia's wrist. The girl's face, often shadowed by quiet resignation, bloomed into a radiant smile, one Clara hadn't seen since before the crash. "You were waiting for me, weren't you?" Sophia murmured, her free hand brushing Luna's back. The cat blinked slowly, eyes half closed in trust, her purr vibrating through the bars. The enclosure door was opened that very afternoon. Luna, with cautious steps, hopped into Sophia's lap, nestling against her chest as if she'd always belonged there. Clara knelt beside them, her own tears flowing unchecked. "You've given her a home," she said, voice thick. Adoption papers were signed amid hugs and cheers from the staff, who now saw Luna not as a lost cause, but as a testament to patience. Weeks turned to months. Sophia and Luna became inseparable. Mornings found them in the sunlit living room, Luna perched on the wheelchair's armrest as Sophia read aloud from adventure books, her voice gaining strength. Neighborhood walks, Sophia wheeling steadily, Luna trotting alongside, drew smiles and stories from passers-by. "Look at them," an elderly neighbor would say, eyes soft. Proof that the broken pieces fit somewhere. In Willowbrook, the tale spread like wildfire, a reminder that fear could be tamed by understanding, scars healed by touch. Sophia's laughter filled their home once more, and Luna's purrs chased away the night's silences. They had found each other, not despite their wounds, but because of them. In a world quick to label and abandon, their bond whispered a truth: love doesn't erase the past, it redeems the future.